This is episode 263 of the Super League Pod. It's the one with 4 hosts, 3 options, and only 1 outcome. There's some big news, some predictable news, and some England squad news. And if you want to know who's scared of cotton wool, who's just a big kid, and who got robbed and how bad they got robbed, then this is the episode for you. So if you're testing your vision, then get strapped in, because it's SLP time. Hello listeners, welcome along to episode 263 of the Super League Pod. This week you've got all of us regular hosts back together, which is the first time for a while, which is very exciting. So you've got myself, Mark, the Wigan fan, we've got Sarah, Hull FC fan. Hello Sarah.
Hello.
We've got Alan, Bradford fan. Hello Alan.
Hello. And
we have Tim, Hull Kingston Rovers / Coventry Bears / General Rugby League nut. As well back in the house. So Tim G, welcome back.
Cheers, thanks. It feels like it's been a while. A lot's happened in that time. At least 2 trips to Durham.
We just want to know how were the Bluebells and Energy Vision. Oh no, wait, the different person.
Oh yeah.
We'll catch up on some of the lockdown London life stuff when we get to the end of the show when we talk through what's been going on in our recommendations. But it's wonderful to have you back, and wonderful for us all to be together, which is very exciting. So
Bank holiday special.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, I don't feel that one. I've been working today, but we'll let's offer it out to the 3 of you. Which of you wants to read our episode sponsor?
I don't, because I've not even got there yet. I could make something up.
I'll tell you what, I'll do it. So this episode is sponsored by Rob's Toy Shop. You can find a wide range of toys, gifts, rugby league birthday cards and more at Rob's Toy Shop on eBay. Visit stores.ebay.co.uk/Rob's Toy Shop, and on any orders over £5 you can earn 5% cash back, and also 1% of your order value will go into the SLP coffers by putting SLP discount at checkout.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks to
I could have made that up.
Exactly. Thanks Rob's Toy Shop for the continued support of the show. What's on the show? We've got some news. I mean, some huge news. We're so late to this news that our views aren't going to really be that earth-shattering, but some big news about some big signings in the Super League. Catch up on what's been going on with the around the world of rugby league in terms of COVID-19. Big discussion to be had in the middle of that about the proposals for the possible return of top flight action, and an SLP poll on that to discuss. We've got a few match reviews in this weekend. Rob's Toy Shop must have quietened down this week because he's been watching some games or just sending in some fan reviews. But that's so we've got a few of those to go through. We'll talk a little bit about some of the Retro Magic weekend action, Alan, and then Unsung Heroes is what we're going to sort of focus on in probably our last kind of special dive episode, because of live action coming back next week. We might see how that goes and start looking at it start reassessing how we do things during the next phase of lockdown rugby league. But first thing to...
Are we not going all the way down to favourite chairman and favourite chief executives?
Well, next was going to be favourite match
officials, conversation.
But then, everyone would vote for you, Tim, because you're the only match official who knocked out a player and not the other way around. Well, I mean, we could cover some other stuff. We haven't had as much in, actually, on Unsung Heroes. I guess it's less easy to define for people, so maybe not quite as clear what people wanted to go with there. We've got a shout out to start off with, though. Thanks to Dave Cantrell for another quiz in the week. I like to refer to Dave Cantrell's quizzes as educational experiences. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah.
I learn more than I get right.
Probably fair
Every day's a school day.
It was won again by your dad. So that's 2 in a row.
I was only half a point behind, I'd like to point out.
You were second. You were close. I I don't think we should talk about what the final score out of what final score that we all got. Fair to say, I don't think we were above 20. Anyone was above 20% of the points.
Yeah, not many out of quite a few.
Yes. But well done to John for winning again, and well done to Dave for another educational experience. I think the general consensus is someone else will write the quiz next time. And Sarah, I've been trying to think how we can stump Dave Cantrell, because we know that is, a well-travelled, well-knowledgeable, lots of different variety of interests and cultural experiences under his belt. I think we go with celebrity gossip. I don't think that's one of his strong points.
Do you not?
No.
To be honest,
I'd do shit at that too.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting matchup, actually, him against Dad.
In celebrity gossip?
No, I just meant generally in terms of a quiz. I think they'd probably fare similarly on celebrity gossip, to be honest.
Well, maybe we'll find out in the next SLP pub quiz. But thanks to Dave again for giving up his time to write the questions and to teach us some stuff. Sandy learnt a lot about Canada that she didn't know before. We learnt a lot about the north of England that we didn't know before, and yeah, it was fun still, and also a bit of a feedback / apology, because I really don't know what happened to the sound in the back half of last week's episode, and I hope it didn't ruin people's enjoyment too much, and I hope it won't happen again. I've kind of fiddled with a couple of the recording settings just to try and link up that better, but somehow I got like half a beat ahead of the rest of you, so I don't know how that happened, but hopefully it didn't ruin the quiz for people too much. But I think whoever was last to give an answer on the quiz probably didn't get their answer because the sound jumped to me.
Yeah, but I mean, just if anyone did miss it, I won. So just in case anyone missed that.
It was a really close run quiz, though, wasn't it, last week? And it had even the tension and drama of Tom coming from like way in the depth of being miles behind everyone to actually being challenging by the end, thanks to Quidditch.
Indeed.
So, without anything else, I suppose we'll jump into news from around the world of rugby league.
So on to the news, and starting with former Australia star Greg Inglis is to come out of retirement to join Super League club Warrington on a one-year deal for next season. The 33-year-old 2013 World Cup winner retired from the game in April 2019. Inglis played 39 tests for Australia and won 10 State of Origin series with Queensland and the 2014 NRL title with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. We had some feedback on this one. And Tom Andrews said, outrageous signing from the wire, one of my all-time favourites and the all-time greats. Hopefully he puts his injuries behind him and can have a successful year. So I guess the question is, do we think he'll actually turn up?
Well,
he might turn up for the photo shoot.
The photo shoot. Well, as long as he turns up more sober than he was in his in the announcement video last week.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to survive the Curry knockout on whatever stupid stuff he does on the way home yet. So we shall see.
But you asked the question, but I suppose let's let you be the first to answer it. Let's reframe it slightly as well. How big a signing is it, and will it come to pass to be a big signing?
It's a signing with massive potential. If he is coming over here to cement his legacy as one of the greats of the game, to show what he can do, that he wasn't done yet, that things have somehow healed from a state where he had to retire, and he's got the right attitude to training and to playing, then he could be massive. However, there are a lot of ifs and a lot of questions there, and once you've been out for nearly 2 years at that point, you've not played a competitive game, how match fit is he going to be? He's only coming in December, so he's going to have a short pre-season. Whatever happens, obviously that depends on when the next season starts, which we'll speak about later.
I mean, he could be playing for Warrington in a grand final in January.
I mean, exactly, who knows? But yeah, so that's one of the questions. What state the rest of his body, never mind the injuries he had, what state the rest of his body's in is going to be a key thing as well.
A player who goes from being unfit, so calls time on his career, not doing very much in the way of professional training for some time, and then is going to be a major force next year. I think you have to be an absolutely unbelievable level of talent to achieve that. Whether Greg Inglis has had that level of talent in the past, hopefully for our competition's sake we get to see that rather than get a total busted retread. There are the ifs, like you say, Tim. It's exciting for rugby league fans. It's not the same sort of signing as Sonny Bill Williams was for Toronto, in the fact that I don't think if you're not already a rugby league fan you'd care about this, but for rugby league fans it's a huge story, and well done to Warrington for pulling off a huge dramatic transfer story in a time where not much is happening in recruitment, in terms of recruitment elsewhere.
Do you think that, I'm guessing we're seeing him playing in the centres? That's where we're expecting him to be playing.
Well, do you think a 34-year-old busted potentially player who's got to really work to get his fitness back can actually play the modern fullback role? I mean, that's kind of the response I'd say to that. It's kind of a negative one on his ability to play fullback, but yeah, I see him playing as a centre.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's the sort of guy who could play anywhere, really. He's got at his peak, he certainly had the ability where he could have played most. I almost wonder, as an out there thing, could he go in as loose forward?
Al, any views?
I personally thought it was a joke when I first saw it. Having watched him in his last kind of 18 months in the NRL, he looked like he was done physically. Too much mileage on the clock. I don't see 18 months helping that particularly. The kind of the knocks and the bruises are going to disappear, but the father time doesn't lie. And for me, I understand the headlines of it, but for me, this is potentially a massive waste of money. I hope I'm wrong, but if I had to put a fiver on it, I'd say it's an unwise signing.
Sarah, do you think it's going to be money well spent for Warrington? Is it the sort of signing that like Joshua and his mates would talk about, as the kids excited about the game?
I don't know. I think I just can't see him playing many games, really. I just think it's a weird one. I mean, yes, we talk about Gareth Ellis having come back from retirement after a similar sort of amount of time, but that was with a club that he was still with, rather than he's coming out of retirement, travelling halfway across the world to a new team. I don't know. I don't understand the logic behind it from Warrington's point of view, because I don't think he'll play, or if he does, I don't think he'll play much. And yeah, I just don't know why you'd want to throw money at somebody like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm finding it really hard to get excited by it.
And it sounds like we're all sceptical about it, because I suppose it's because we would have loved Warrington to go and fucking spend this money on Greg Inglis 4 years ago.
Yeah,
that would have been ideal. Make him their first marquee signing when they could have done. That would have been a splash.
Yeah, but you've got to say, is it a case that he wouldn't come at that point?
Yeah.
And therefore, why is he coming now?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the answer to that question.
I really hope it goes well for them, and Greg Inglis gets to experience what it's like to be a Warrington player and look like he's in a fantastic side and enjoy a fantastically